culture.
Yeah, hip hop is a rape culture.
Tell me about it.
I put a Molly in her drink and she ain't even know it. Me and my homies like to play this game. Some call it Amtrak, but some call it the train. We all would line up in a single file line and take our turns waxing girls' behinds. Every time it get to me, I was out of luck because I stick my end and it would get stuck. The girl will say stop, I say I'm not. The girl will say stop, I say I'm not. But we dance to it. There's another song. I take her back to the trap. I gave her a perk, and she ain't even know it. Then she dropped her panties. So when we watch the frat parties, what was that, Porky's Revenge? Hey, let's spike the punch. The girls don't know the spike's sponge. When we see a bunch of girls, hey, baby, let me get you a drink. Come over, let's have some drink. Drink to do what? And have sex. That's coercion. She have to have a sober mind. So that's our culture.
How did it happen?
Hollywood, entertainment. They
because it didn't
they
used to be
romanticize
like
it.
that.
Now they romanticize it.
When you see the videos of back in the days, African American families, suits, the way they dressed, clean, solid, strong. What got into that? You're saying purely it's hip hop and movies?
A group of teenagers that became a phenomenon, like the Beatles, NWA. Not only that, you got this group that know things about crack that the rest of America don't know. They the first crack babies. They the ones told us in songs, mothers smoke crack and your friends can have sex with them. Boys in the hood is always hard. We didn't know about a strawberry. What is a strawberry? A woman who sell her body for crack. You know how many of our aunties that end up doing that? You know how many guys that was in middle school that sold dope and his best friend mom was on dope and he ended up effing his best friend mom? And now they hate each other to this day. So it wasn't just hip hop. It was the lyrical content that children was being able to have access to. This is before the parental advisory stickers. Not only that, you got this music, which if you wanna check the temperature of your youth's mentality, listen to the music. So now you got this new chemical that was made in a laboratory. Black people didn't know how to cook crack. That's a chemist method. Somebody had to teach them. By the way, government taught somebody how to do this. When we watched the movie Snowfall. So when they came out of California to come spread crack throughout America, who they bring? The gangs. Throughout the South, these little small country towns who people are fascinated by California from what we've seen on television. And we emulated a culture that was more destructive than the Ku Klux Klan and the Jim Crow system.
Wow. And you're saying it was intentional?
Nobody thought it would become this. It was dismissed. There's a bunch of kids from the ghetto rapping. It was dismissed. No one could predict what crack was going to do to Black America. Nobody could have predicted that.
When you go back, when you look at the origins of hip hop, some would say, but there was a time though that hip hop culture wasn't what it is now. Like, was hip hop corrupted or was hip hop always on its way towards corruption? Like, was it good at the foundations? Meaning, if we were to go back to where hip hop was at its inception, would it then be something that could be acceptable?
Not at all. Hip hop was corrupt in its creation because the creators and founders of it were corrupt. So African Bambaataa went to Africa and he learned the ways of the Zulus. The Zulus are into ancestral worship. He brought those spirits back and began to make raps and beats about how those spirits, how powerful they were. That's what Planet Rock is about. You know, Planet Rock, don't stop, rock the Planet Rock. That's basically false god worship rock because the planets into the Zulus were considered gods. And so from the beginning, it's been corrupt. when I was trying to explain it, people was like, oh, no, it's just beats. No, it's not beats. If you know anything about frequency, you know that it's never just beats. It's never just music. Music carries the heart of the author that created it. And the best example of that is in the Bible. King David, when Saul was troubled by the evil spirit, David just played. He didn't have to sing. He played, but because of his heart and his disposition, the spirit came and soothed the evil spirit and chased it away. That's because of who David was, a man after God's own heart. It's different when he plays versus, they didn't just go looking for anyone to play. It had to be someone with the right spirit. And if you know anything about frequencies, especially mastering houses and different things, they're able to put things in music to give music, flight, so that this particular music is meant to change a person in this way or this way.